I'm Shay Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Andrew Paterson, the Managing Director from Great Boulder Resources. Pato, it has been far too long since we last spoke. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, you're right. It has been ages and awesome to see you again.
Now, thrilled to have you on because I can see you have been busy in the past couple of weeks. Mate, take me through what you've been up to.
Yeah, quite a few announcements. So, firstly, we didn't go to Diggers. I snuck a very brief holiday in there, and that's why we were a bit quiet at the start of August. Then, catching up on announcements. So, firstly, Ironbark, we've now extended that by at least 180 metres beyond the resource to the south. We're finding high-grade gold there in water bores. We've found high-grade gold in a hole drilled for waste rock classification. There's indications the resource extends at depth beneath the existing resource, and also obviously to the south with these high-grade hits. So very, very positive series of developments there at Ironbark. Going forward, we will be putting together a drill program to really define that 180-degree strike, see if it continues, and bring that into resource by the end of the year. So that's all systems go there. More recently, we've put out some surprisingly high-grade hits at Eaglehawk, which was resource definition drilling. The reason I say it's surprising is because we were aiming for a lode, which we did intersect at the bottom of that hole. However, we hit 2 or 3 other lodes on the way down, which we didn't know about, and so they're new high-grade mineralisation closer to surface and therefore requiring more drilling around that to define those as well. So that's really good news for Eaglehawk because that's going into resource at the end of the year as well, and so any new discoveries within that footprint add to the potential for resource ounces there. So a couple of really good solid pieces of high-grade news just in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I love how you keep saying you're surprised by the high grade that you're finding. I think every time we speak, you're like, oh, we found more high grade. It's almost becoming routine for you over at Great Boulder Resources.
Yeah, and it just demonstrates, like, if you go back in time to Mulga Bill, when we drilled that out, initially we had an inferred resource, then we infill drilled it and the grade actually went up. So these deposits do continually surprise us on the upside. We rarely have occasion where we drill where we think we're going to hit high grade and we don't. Conversely, we often drill holes that might be a bit sketchy, but we hit high grade when we didn't expect to. So, you know, it's a pretty good problem to have.
It certainly is, and it's great to see these projects go from strength to strength. Now, I missed the last couple of weeks what you've been up to, so tell me now, what are some of the things in the pipeline?
So firstly, we'll be putting out a plan shortly so that everyone can understand the drilling program going forward, which will be accelerating drilling. We have a rig on the way to site, which will allow us to have one rig devoted to resource definition while another rig starts drilling some of these targets, new targets, which we also put out about 3 weeks ago from the IP survey. So that means on the one hand, we've got a rig generating ounces for the resource update at the end of the year. On the other hand, we'll have an air core rig looking at new targets, which will be the discovery phase into 2026. At some point between now and Christmas, we'll also drill some deep diamond holes, particularly at Mulga Bill and Eaglehawk, and we'll talk more about them once we know the timing. So a lot going on. In parallel with that, the technical studies at Ironbark will be ticking over between now and the end of the year, so they're just kind of churning away in the background.
Pato, there sounds like an awful lot happening at the moment. Don't be a stranger because I'm very looking forward to future updates. Thank you for being here.
Thanks very much.